Hey, Skol Nation. What's up, you purple-blooded warriors? This is your die-hard Vikings fan, straight from the heart of Minnesota, bringing you the hottest Vikings news update that's got me jumping out of my seat. Imagine this, our QB room just got a shocking infusion of experience after that brutal hit on J.J. McCarthy. Yeah, the one that had us all holding our breath during that Falcons beatdown. Stick around, because this signing could be the game-changer we need to roar back. Who's ready to dive into the drama? You know, folks, the Minnesota Vikings and the Atlanta Falcons have this weird quarterback voodoo going back 2 years. Trades, injuries, you name it, and now it's hitting us again like a thunderclap. Just days after we faced off against Atlanta on Sunday Night Football, where they edged us 22-6 in a defensive slugfest, boom, Desmond, the former Falcons starter, is suiting up for the Vikings. According to NFL insiders Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero, he's signing straight to our active 53-man roster. At 26 years old, this guy's bounced around, but hey, in the trenches of the NFL, experience like his is gold. What do you think, Skol fam? Redemption arc or risky bet? Paragraph 3 here. Let's set the stage for why this matters so much right now. Our rookie sensation J.J. McCarthy took a pounding in that game. Sacked 6 times, hit 11 in total, and came out with a nasty high ankle sprain. He's week to week, no IR yet, which keeps our options open, but we can't afford to be thin at QB heading into week 3 against the Bengals. Enter Ridder as our emergency third behind Carson Wentz and that undrafted gem Max Brosmer. It's like the football gods are scripting a blockbuster. Will this ex-Falcon turn purple and help us Skol? Hit the comments. Are you pumped or cautious? Alright, Vikings faithful, let's rewind to where it all started for Desmond Ridder. Draft day 2022, when the Falcons snagged him in the 3rd round out of Cincinnati. The guy had that college swagger, throwing for over 8,000 yards with the Bearcats, and Atlanta saw him as their future. But man, the NFL hit him like a blindside blitz. In his first taste of action that year, he stepped in for the struggling Marcus Mariota, going 2-2 in those late-season starts, completing 63.5% of his passes for 708 yards and 2 touchdowns. Solid numbers that had Falcons fans dreaming of glory. For us Vikings diehards watching from afar, it was like, who is this kid shaking up the South? But oh, the off-season buzz. Atlanta cuts ties with Mariota and crowns Ridder their full-time starter for 2023. The pressure was on, and let's be real, it felt like the weight of the Dirty Birds crushed him from the jump. He looked uncomfortable out there, like a deer in the headlights of a roaring Vikings defense in our dreams. Finished the year 6-7 as a starter, which isn't trash, but those 12 picks matching his 12 touchdowns? Oof. And don't get me started on the 31 sacks. He was a sitting duck back there. Rushed for 193 yards and 5 scores, though. Props for the legs. Skol Nation, remember those Falcons games? What if Ridder brings that dual-threat fire to Minnesota? Now, picture this heartbreak. Falcons cap off a nightmare season with a blowout loss to the Saints, and boom, head coach Arthur Smith gets the axe. In the chaos, they trade Ridder to the Arizona Cardinals for wideout Rondale Moore. It was like watching a promising storyline get shelved mid-season. For Ridder, it was Cut City in Arizona that summer, no roster spot, just practice squad scraps. But hey, that's the league, ruthless, right? As a Vikings fan, I've seen our guys bounce back from worse. Question for you, if Ridder gets a shot here, does he remind you of any purple underdogs who've risen up? Spill in the comments. Fast forward to 2024, and Ridder's odyssey takes a Vegas turn. The Raiders scoop him up after their QB crew gets decimated by injuries. Aiden O'Connell and the crew go down, and suddenly Ridder's thrust into the starter's role. 5 games, 0-5 record. Talk about a silver and black nightmare. He completed just 61.2% for 458 yards, 2 TDs, 2 picks. Not the fireworks we hoped for. But man, in the desert heat of Allegiant Stadium, he was grinding, you know? As Vikings fans, we've had our share of road warriors fighting through slumps. This guy's got 25 games under his belt now, 18 starts. That's reps we might need if Wentz falters. Then comes the 2025 preseason. Ridder lands with the Cincinnati Bengals, our Week 3 foes, looking to lock down a spot. He flashes some of that old magic in camp, slinging it to Jamar Chase in drills, but end of August? Cut. Free agent limbo until today. It's poetic, isn't it? The guy who just prepped against Cincy now joins us to face them. Irony at its finest. Skol bros, imagine Ritter dropping knowledge on our D about Burrow's tendencies. Game changer? Or just a fun twist? What's your take? Comment below. Alright, let's zoom in on that gut-wrenching Vikings-Falcons clash from Week 2. Sunday night football under those lights. And our D held tough, but J.J. McCarthy? The kid got lit up. 6 sacks, 11 hits total, and that ankle tweak sealed it. Falcons sneak away 22-6, but we saw fight. Justin Jefferson snagging key grabs, our secondary swatting passes. Still, losing our first-round franchise QB hurts like a Randy Moss deep ball you can't reel in. As a lifelong Vikings obsessive, I felt that post-game announcement like a punch. But here's the silver lining. It lit a fire under GM Kwesi Adofo-Mensah to move fast. Enter Carson Wentz, our bridge starter, veteran savvy, that cannon arm that's torched us before when he was with Philly. He's stepping up, but with only Max Brosmer as backup? That undrafted Minnesota kid impressed in camp. Sure, but unproven. We needed depth, experience, someone who stared down blitzes and lived to throw another. That's where Ritter fits like a purple glove. Stats-wise, career 63.6% completion, 4,002 yards, 16 TDs to 14 picks. Not elite, but battle-tested. Fans, are you feeling the QB carousel spin? Who's your ideal starter right now, Wentz, Brosmer, or a healthy JJ? Now, the big picture on this signing. Ritter slides in as QB3, emergency ready for Cincy. No IR for JJ means he could return in 2 to 4 weeks, keeping our playoff pulse beating. But think about it, Ritter on the 53-man means flexibility. If Wentz tweaks something, we don't panic throw Brosmer in. It's smart chess from Coach Kevin O'Connell. And get this, Ritter's mobility, those 5 rushing TDs last year, could spark Sam Darnold. Wait, no, Wentz packages. As a Vikings lifer, I love the grit. It's like adding a chapter to our underdog saga. What if this is the move that flips our 0-2 start? Dream with me, Skol Nation. Diving deeper into Ritter's Falcons days, 2022 relief appearance. Stepped in cold, 708 yards on 63.5%. That's poise under fire. Gave Atlanta hope, finishing 2-2. But the real test was 2023's full starter gig. 15 games, 64.2% completion, 2,836 yards, average 189 per game, balanced 12-12 TDINT ratio. Not disastrous, but the discomfort showed. Holds onto the ball too long, sacks piling up at 31. Rushed for 193 and 5 scores, though versatile weapon. For us, that's intriguing. Imagine him scrambling in Kevin O'Connell's scheme, extending plays for JJ to watch and learn. The benching stung. Taylor Heineke slides in, and Ritter's relegated to the sidelines, watching Atlanta limp to that Saints finale. Firing Arthur Smith? Chaos. Trade to cards for more smart asset flip, but for Ritter it was a reset button that jammed. Arizona cuts him quick. No magic in the desert. But Vikings fans, no heartbreak. Remember our own QB quests? This feels like a full-circle moment. Falcons to Vikings pipeline. Hey, Purple Pride. Would you start Ritter over Wentz in a pinch? Vote in the comments. Career arc check. From Bearcat star to NFL journeyman, 25 games, 63.6% overall, 6.8 yards per attempt, plus 293 rushing yards and 5 TDs. Not a star, but a scrapper. Raiders stint. That 0-5 skid exposed flaws, decision-making under pressure, but he fought. Bengals camp. Showed arm talent, but numbers game beat him out. Now, in Minnesota, opportunity knocks. As your passionate Vikings voice, I'm hyped for the intangibles. Leadership for young JJ, depth for the grind. Skol Warriors, what's the one Ritter stat that gives you hope? Drop it below. Tying it to our Vikings reality. That Falcons game exposed vulnerabilities. O-line holding up JJ? Not enough. 6 sacks mean we need protection, but also backups who can evade. Ritter's sacked 50-plus times career, so he gets it. Pocket presence matters. With Wentz's injury history, Brosmer's greenness, this trio feels balanced. Week 3 at Cincy, Burrow's back, their D is fierce. Ritter's recent Bengals intel? Priceless. Imagine a late-game emergency handoff. The stadium erupts. Fans, are we overthinking? Or is this the depth we crave? Let's discuss. Stats that scream credibility. Ritter's 4,002 career yards modest, but efficient at 63.6%. TDINT near even shows calculated risks. Rushing adds wrinkle. Compared to JJ's rookie woes, McCarthy's early picks mirror Ritter's growth pains. Both young guns needing seasoning. For Vikings news junkies like me, this is narrative fuel, redemption in purple. And hey, no major updates beyond the signingpervikings.com. It's fresh, it's real. Skol Nation, if Ritter balls out in practice, do we petition for reps? Your thoughts? Building suspense. What if this isn't just a band-aid? O'Connell's offense thrives on mobility. Ritter's legs could unlock RPOs, bootlegs that stretch Cincy thin. Pair him with our weapons, Jefferson, Addison, Naeem, Sutton. JJ learns from afar, returns stronger. Does the Vikings way adapt, overcome? As a fan who's bled purple since '87, I see parallels to our past comebacks. But the hook. Will Ritter face his old Bengals prep notes against them? Tease for next vid. Tune in. What's your bold prediction for Week 3? Wrapping the Falcons connection. 2 years of QB swaps. Ritter out, Cousins in for them. Now he's ours post-McCarthy hit. Sundays 22-6. Defensive gem, 28 pressures on Ritter back in ATL days, but ours held Atlanta to field goals mostly. Still, points off turnovers killed us. This signing? Revenge fuel. Play the birds again? Ritter's got their playbook. Vikings faithful. Does this make our secondary matchup sweeter? Comment your hot takes. As we gear up for Cincy, remember, 0-2 ain't the end. 98 Vikings started slow, then exploded. Ritter's addition echoes that resilience. Career highs, 2,836 yards in 23 volume starter potential. Lows, 0-5 skid teaches humility. Balance for our room. Hey Skol Squad, who's your unsung hero on this roster right now? Share below. Let's build the hype. Final thoughts before the call. This Vikings news drop from Vikings.com insiders? Pure adrenaline. Ritter joins as QB3, but upside screams. With JJ week to week, Wentz leading, Brosmer growing, depth wins titles. Imagine a Skol chant with Ritter under center in a must-win. Heart-pounding, right? As your go-to Vikings voice, I'm all in. Phew, Skol Nation, what a ride. From Ritter's Falcons flash to Vikings savior. We've unpacked the stats, the drama, the what-ifs. This could spark our turnaround 0-2 to roaring. But hey, don't stop here. Smash that like if you're hyped for Week 3. Drop your Ritter predictions and comments. Subscribe for more Vikings news breakdowns. And share with your fellow Purple fanatics. Let's pack US Bank Stadium, Skol Vikings.